Well, fingers crossed, I'm going to publish it now, and hopefully we can have ourselves an hour or two of matches. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, because I ended off the last stream with a bit of a bang, needless to say, as all my auroras have decided to explode on me, so I kind of would prefer not to have to deal with that again. And so far, promising start, immediate queue, which probably means I'm going to be fighting a max level fleet, possibly level 10. Well, gotta start somewhere, right? And if I can win with a handicap of some sort, that bodes well for me. Handicap by that I mean the level disadvantage I have. So, no idea who you are. Not familiar with you. So, what better way to make introductions than to completely destroy him? Now it just begs the question if he's going Novacans or not. Because if he isn't, I could probably have an opportunity or excuse to field my shadow, or even a second eclipse there. I think we'll play the safe thing and account for possible Novacans, and by that, what I mean there, he probably has 2 Marses, which my Kronos pattern will be useful for. And because of possible Novacans, I kind of want to avoid frigates if I can, although they're going to get shot down horribly, aren't they? I have enough points for like 3 of them. And I don't want to go all cruisers, but hell, I could still afford a frigate, so let me just go 3. This is never a situation I'm comfortable with, having to field a bunch of frigates there where they could possibly be completely useless. So I guess what I should try and do is have them way on the flank, way out to an awkward corner there, or at least that way, if he wants to try and shoot him with the Novacans, he'll have to turn to face them, which possibly leaves me open to a nice strafe, well, aggressive attack. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but just give me a moment. Just gotta grab something quickly there, or grab my Android, because I forgot to put the stream chat on for my Twitch app, so that would make it a little more convenient for me, at least watching the stream, or at least the channel. So it helps if I get this set up. Damn it, I should have done this beforehand, but nonetheless, my deployment options are a little bit limited, aren't they? Well, I have to dance around the asteroid field, or I can have the open field on the right, which actually going on the right isn't too terrible, because I could still turn into the gas cloud easily enough, should things be going really bad. So, I want these Aurora Hellborn spread out just to be safe. Just to be safe, I want the Hellborn spread out. I don't want to risk losing all of them to a damn single Novacan shot. So, let's get this set up. Hellborns 2, Hellborns 3, you're all set. So, fingers crossed. Also, let's turn off this dang focusing assist, because that's not helpful in this situation. And see what we're dealing with. 6 ships, so it's not like a 4 Novacan fleet, at least. Well, it could possibly. I don't know exactly how the points line up, but you could very well have 2 Widowmakers still, maybe? No, 600 points would only give them 3. So this does not seem like Novacans just yet, so I can probably get myself grouped back together at least a little bit. And work on that, see how it goes. Especially since I have fighters in that to utilize. And I don't think I want these Hellborn to go in first, at least not separate. So we'll get on moving. He is going to have that asteroid belt, so don't have to worry about that. Let's see. Fighters there, that tells me that's at least a Mars. I think that's a safe assumption, because I almost never see dictators the size for when I've been fielding them, funny enough. No one else has seemed to want to field dictators, except for, well, a Chartelon, I guess. And he's all dictators, all fighters with torpedoes or Novacans. Well, 2 Marses and a bunch of dictators, so let's see. And because he's got a good position on that gas cloud, probably means I'm not going to get the best opportunity to do effective hit and runs. I'm going to have to fire a bit blind.
At your service.
Oh well. He is positioning himself well for the asteroid belt. I kind of want to just get behind those ships, actually.
Eldar, stand ready.
That's kind of tempting just to go in there and flank.
Is our home now.
Just go and flank them. Try to hit those two cruisers and back, because they seem to be holding back a little bit.
Until the end.
So, is there a way we could jump those quickly?
Setting sail.
Because they still have to go around this asteroid belt. Actually, I could fire a warning shot. That'll intimidate them a bit. Probably really bad angle, though, considering the rush nature of that.
Until the end.
But this setup still works well, because if he has supercharged void shield, my Auroras will easily be able to deal with that really quickly. And torpedo 1, nope. His fighters had enough time to shoot it down.
Yes, Commander, we obey.
It's a bit awkward, but hey, he's got his ship separate, so it gives me a window even to do some maneuver regardless. And he doesn't have extended sensors. He does not have extended sensors.
Move at full speed.
Now,
We have found the enemy. At your service.
so
Bone singers.
he wasted a micro warp jump. That was silly of him.
To the void.
So, and he's a level 10 fleet. So, we got torpedoes, we got weaponry, and we got
Eldar, stand ready.
stasis bomb to kind of give him a hard time there.
Void is our home now.
Heh, retribution, fire away.
The Eldar stand ready.
Okay, we dodged that easily enough. I'm just automatically going to dodge that. Yeah, this is going to be painful.
We ride the solar winds. Yes, Commander.
This is going to be painful, and I forgot to turn you around, which is a bit of a mistake.
Acknowledged.
Messed up my control a tiny bit, I feel like, especially since my Hellborn is still doing crap. But we're doing good here. Damage on the Retribution is amazing. Let's just get this out of the way.
The Eldar stand ready.
And now, we gotta get the hell out, which probably means I'm gonna have to brace for impact to mitigate this damage. Actually, I probably didn't need to do that, because that worked just as well, quite frankly. Come on, stop auto-attacking there. Yeah, I'm definitely blundering this a little bit. You can tell work fatigue is starting to get to me, I think.
Swiftly.
Because now this damn ship is completely useless
Returning infinity.
without its hollow field. But we can still pretty much kill that Retribution.
We are being blown apart.
Well, this is not promising. I got the Retribution, though. Now, let's go in for next attack, and I guess he does have Dictators. Huh. Yeah, that was a horrible start, but
Yes, Commander.
we're still on the good upper hand. We still got a good upper hand here,
Until the end.
regardless, so let's try and get more torpedoes in. Try and do more damage to his fleet,
Yes, Commander. We obey.
especially now that his big weaponry is gone.
Until the end.
His big weapon's gone, and he's in a nice clump for random torpedoes to just randomly hit him.
Bone singers, hear
Now,
this vessel.
helps if I get full value of my ships, though, because I'm not really doing a good job of
Yes,
that.
Commander.
So, he's just warping out. I'm fine with that. He's already conceded there. We intimidate him so much with the loss of his Retribution. That I can consider the biggest kind of victory. We just dealt such a crippling moral blow to him that he just lost the will to commit, to continue fighting. Now we just gotta deal with these dang frigates.
Eldar stand ready.
Now, come on. Come hit me. Hit me all you can. And I don't have any fighters available. One downside with this dang snowball mic, I picked the perfect spot to put it, which is covering up now my bomber cooldowns, so whenever I try and go to my Kronos pattern, I actually can't see it.
We ride.
It makes me kind of wish, or miss, though as I ram the frigate, which probably isn't the worst idea, It just doesn't feel like something I should make as a habit. Considering the circumstances, I don't think I want to make that a regular thing. I would die really fast with my lack of armor. Only justification I could have with ramming a ship in general is basically just ramming frigates, especially 100 health frigates. Maybe not so much the sword. Cobras and that I could easily get away with because its armor and damage potential with only 100 health is pretty minuscule. I don't think I would feel it on the frigates or the cruisers anyway. But nonetheless, that was a good moral victory. I am really happy with that one. Did pretty damn well killing the Retribution, and all because he decided to separate his fleet. At first I thought he had like 2 Marses or something there, 2 carrier ships at least, that were lagging behind. Nope. I found myself an entire Retribution, and he burnt his micro-warp jump trying to come after me. Which thankfully it wasn't as painful as it could have been, because that broadside would have been vicious, especially since I expended my boost. I should have really... Well, I used the Vol's maneuver kind of as a panic, because I had no idea where he was going to jump to. But if, in that situation, if I had waited until he actually started firing, then my Auroras could have just dodged through the Vol's maneuver, I think. And potentially took no damage that way. That is something I'm going to have to get used to, if nothing else. And really understand, because a micro-warp jump could very easily be placed in a way where he can ram me. So I do want to shift my position rapidly to make that a little less likely. At least a little bit. Now, are we going to have ourselves a rematch? It's seeming likely. It's seeming possible. But hey, with the big victory I just had there, I think it's safe to say it will be in my favor. If I can do that same thing again, just destroy his biggest ship. So, let's see, 700 points? Yep, same fella. So, I didn't really pay much attention to what his fleet was. I only know he has a Retribution and at least 1 Dictator. I never bothered to look at what kind of upgrades he had, so I can go with the Void Stalker. Its bombers would be pretty useful here, especially now that I know he doesn't really have his own fighters or anything, or Marses. He does have a Dictator. Actually, is that what I want to do? I would like to get my Kronos pattern to level 5 as well. I think that's my justification. That's my justification will go... Well, I know he doesn't have Novacans, so I can get away with more frigates at least now. I just gotta be better about controlling the damn things. I need to be a little bit better about that, so... Level 6 are in. And there. Well... Still a question if I want to throw more frigates in. I could kind of do that a little bit. Might not be the smartest idea, though. 4 cruisers, 3 frigates, this seems decent. I just gotta be better about my control this time. Just a little. Because that felt sloppy. But of course, I think part of it is because I'm leaning into the mic a little bit. It's not giving me the most comfortable posture, I think. So I gotta relax a bit more, I think is what's going on. Relax a bit more and get back into the swing of things. Get my groove going, because I'm definitely gonna need it with Eldar. Because with the Kronos pattern, or rather that was my Eclipse there, sitting there with no holofield, it was just asking to die right there. It could have been hit by anything for how long I left it sitting there. And I'd rather not have that happen again. Now it's just a question of where would I expect him to go, to the right or to the gas clouds on the left there. What would work better for me in all honesty? Because he wasn't against going around the asteroid belt, so do I want to place myself in front of it to leave me more options? I think that's what I want to do. That way I can just go left or right, and with my mobility I can easily just reposition myself to use the gas cloud. And I know he doesn't have Novacans, or at least he didn't show any Novacans, so I probably can get away with more tighter formation with the frigates anyway. So, we are all set. Turn off the focusing, and let's try for a repeat. Let's clobber his ships again. Oops, and I forgot to group you into 3, so let's fix that. Once I turn off the focusing fires, thank you. Oh, and he's going Frigate Swarm. Ooh, this will be good practice for me. I won against his frigate swarm before. Now we're going to have to try and do it again.
Until the end.
So, torpedoes go out. I got lots of torpedoes, and they're pretty damn vicious.
At your service.
If nothing else, these torpedoes are vicious, and normally I don't like just randomly dumbfiring torpedoes I'll never hit. Because I kind of like the torpedoes as their shock value. Him not realizing I'm fielding torpedoes until it's too late, quite frankly. That's kind of why I hesitated and restrained myself, because especially since no one else wants to use the damn torpedoes. So, quite frankly, withholding the torpedoes is probably my greatest strength there that I can utilize. Because when he doesn't know what's going to hit him, quite literally there, because it ignores armor completely. They're really hard to shoot down, and with my ability to boost in, which may be risky if I'm not smart about it, we'll give them no time to respond. And also now I gotta start positioning myself. Position myself around this asteroid field. And I guess I'll let him have the gas cloud, because I don't need it if he's going to be trying to force his way in. I'll let him have his damn gas cloud. So long as I'm getting hits and I'm hearing repairs. We'll start softening him up and make him come to us. Because I don't really need to wait or fight him. I don't need to fight him at all. Hell, I wonder if I could just throw a maelstrom down and make him panic. I wonder what the result would be if I were to throw a maelstrom down. Literally throw a maelstrom down and see if he tries to dodge it or not. Because it's going to do absolutely no damage to him because of that. Because the shields... What is it? The shields will do... Bah! I'm losing my train of thought. Because of the change they made so long ago where he needs to have the shields down to take damage. And apparently, it may have did something there. He's not moving at all. He's not moving an inch. So maybe I'm using knowledge against him here. Oh well. We can fight. We'll get ourselves ready for attack runs. Oh, let's evade and get ready to deal some damage to these dauntlesses here. Although with his boosters, he seems pretty content on just flying right in. Okay, Auger Disruptor, that's pointless. Because I have no damn Micro Warp Jump. He's got two supercharged void shields he just burnt. And we got ourselves a repair to burn. Now, bombers, go in, do your thing. And get ready. Oh, he's Micro Warp jumping, so we'll worry about that. Is that a Mars? No, that's a Dictator. I should have known that because I saw the cruiser's torpedoes, quite frankly. So, the cute thing here is this doesn't really do a whole lot. I just gotta make sure my pulsars are hitting what they should be hitting.
Yes, Commander, we obey.
Now, get on out. Boost on out. Now, hope my ships don't hit each other, because this is about to hurt. Oops, that was a bad shot. And of course, that's part of what I'm talking about there. Their close proximities ruin each other's movement quite heavily. So, get on out. Yeah, this damn proximity, the close range of my ships is really messing me up. So I do need to try and focus separating my group some, not have them paired up like they are. So if I can silent run, I'm getting this thing out. It's too close, too low on health to justify leaving.
Yes, Commander. We obey.
If I could get it out. Actually, it can repair. It's not as bad as it sounds. I thought I already burnt the repair, which is why I was considering that.
Moving to that location.
Now,
Until the end.
let's see. Torpedoes just shot, so just make sure I know what I'm shooting here. Torpedoes go. That's on fire, so hell. Let's just get everything out, because I kind of did the damage I need to that one frigate. And those torpedoes, well, I was going to say it was going to kill more, but now we just have a cruiser to deal with. And I guess with his frigate swarm, he only has 2 cruisers to deal with, and those are the big threats. Once I deal with them,
Setting sail.
once I deal with this dictator, that's not a problem. Is it a dictator? No, it's an actual overlord. I'm wrong. I thought it was a dictator first.
Yes, Commander.
So, just unload on this thing.
As you wish.
So,
The Eldar
Pulsar is unfortunately not going to do anything. His Auger Disruptor is not going to do much, and I'm in a corner, so... Time to reposition myself. No. I know I warped the ship out, but I don't want this to constantly be a thing with, what, 3-4% chance of insubordination. Well, actually, it's more like 8%, I think.
until the
Okay.
end.
He wants to play that game, we'll let him play it.
Moving to that location.
So long as I'm good about killing these
The
frigates.
Eldar stand ready.
That's the only thing there.
We ride the solar winds.
So boost on through, wreck everything. At least attempt to.
Until the end.
And can I kill this thing? Well, it's heavily damaged, it's not wrecked
We
yet.
obey. Call forth for bone singers. We are damaged.
Yeah, that thing's gonna die quickly, unfortunately. Flying through there was a bad idea, but hell, I was expecting him to try and ram me.
Until the end.
I was honestly expecting him to ram me like he is kind of now. And I'm kind of ramming him right now, so...
Eldar stand ready.
I can still kill the Overlord relatively well.
Swiftly.
I just gotta get an attack run on it.
Move at full speed. The void is our home.
Get an attack run on it, kill these frigates.
Yes, Commander.
And do I get the shields down? No, I do not.
Setting sail.
And now that my damn cogitator's gone, this is going to be painful.
As you wish.
So, I could keep hitting the Overlord. His Overlord took massive amount of damage, so it's still worth trying to go for, but
Acknowledged.
I think I want to kill the frigates more first. They are really low health.
Swiftly.
Especially now that I'm out of range and he's kind of changed his angle.
Yes, Commander. We obey.
And why isn't my... I figured my Aurora would have shot by now.
Eldar stand ready.
Okay. He's still committing, so actually I don't want to fight this just yet, so... Keep the Hellborn going. Keep this going. Actually, let's switch targets here.
Yes, Commander. We
Why?
obey.
Okay, I was wondering why the Pulsar wasn't goddamn shooting.
As you wish.
I was wondering why the Pulsar wasn't shooting. It's probably because its angle's off.
Full stop.
Yeah, that was bad maneuver. Like I said, the ramming's a bit of a pain. And I'm mismanaging my control quite significantly. But once that Overlord's down,
Swiftly.
I should be okay, maybe? Stop rebelling on me.
The red way is opening to us.
Yes, that's really the second insubordination. Wow.
Move at full speed.
That's not what I need.
To that location.
So, Overlord's still the priority, I guess, now. I just gotta get through everything, so... Hell, and I should be using a stasis bomb more.
Eldar stand ready.
And of course... Why didn't my stasis bomb go off?
We ride the solar winds.
Huh. What happened to my stasis bomb for crying out loud?
Moving to
I
that
did activate
location.
it. Right? My timer says it's active.
The Eldar shall triumph.
So... Huh. That is weird. Yeah, this is gonna hurt.
Yes, Commander.
This is gonna hurt a lot here if I don't kill these things quickly.
At your service.
So he lightning strike there. My stasis bomb now decides to
The
work.
void is our home now.
So just gotta try and kill that thing. I don't have torpedoes though. He's panicking from the stasis bomb, so that'll work well for me.
At your service.
And I like to keep on flying out of his sensor range, but I need my boosters to come back up first for that.
The void is our home now. Stealth is
There we
the
go.
key to success.
So now I'm hitting. Try fire torpedoes at him, and this thing's gonna die in a moment, so
Until the
let's
end.
try and kill this Overlord, shall we? Oh, I don't have any torpedoes, so never mind that. I did that wrong, and now I'm gonna pay the price for it.
Commander, we obey. Swiftly.
Torpedo's not going to do much damage either, but Maelstrom's sure as hell going to hurt. Maelstrom's sure as hell going to hurt. He has to disengage now.
As you wish.
Now, can I get one more pulsar shot before his shields come up?
Swiftly.
Because this might hurt me a little bit. Okay, now fire, unload.
We have found the enemy.
Ooh, those star cannons, the star cannons do it, oh my god. We got what we needed, and it killed one, maybe two of his frigates as well. Now I just gotta be careful of these damn things. They're gonna do a lot of damage to me, and I need to start whittling them down.
Yes, Commander. We obey.
Okay, so dodge one. We took the ram from the damn sword. The damn ram from the sword that was about to die. Oh well. I blundered out a little bit, because in all honesty, I need to be spread out a lot more, I think. Kind of like how I dealt with the Chaos Swarm. Just always be threatening to hit him from another angle. Force him to micromanage. That probably would have worked better there. And of course, letting the Aurora warp out may have been a mistake too, but oh yeah, it was really low health, so it probably wouldn't have contributed that much more, regardless. But yeah, that wasn't too terrible. It's just really making sure I'm dealing with that swarm properly. Again, always be threatening his big ships, I guess. Threaten the cruisers, because that would have saved me a lot of trouble there with his micro warp jump. He would have no boarding attempts. And then I just have the frigates to deal with I'm losing my train of thought a lot. What the hell's going on today? What the hell is going on today? Nonetheless, let's try and get ourselves a third match. He'll probably queue up again. We'll see. And now, the easy way, of course, to deal with the swarm, of course, is to keep my Kronos pattern alive. And of course, trying to fly through him may have been a mistake. I was expecting him to try and boost into me there. That's kind of what I was expecting. Have him just boost into me and just be able to get some good distance there as a result. As it stood, he just micro-warp jumped into the Kronos and got a lot of damage in that way. So it took a crap ton of damage when it didn't need to. Although I don't want to run all day, which is part of the problem. I want to be aggressive against the frigate swarm. So spreading out, like I said, probably is the better idea. And I guess he gave up. Or he got another match already, I'm not sure which. Not sure which. But it's a bit of a learning experience, if nothing else. It's a learning experience, because that was a winnable game regardless of the swarm. I just hate to keep running away all the time. Which is probably part of the reason why all the Eldar take bombers, is because they can do just that. Just run all day and still be killing their opponents, so there's no fun in that. Let's try and play Eldar properly, shall we? Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. I don't think running away is ideal to what Eldar are doing. They're doing surgical strikes. After all, they're supposed to hit when the opponent's weak there. Kind of like how I massacred that poor Retribution. Hit him when he's separated and isolated. Although we need some more matches first, so who knows how long we'll be waiting. Again, this is not exactly the most optimal time. Not really, because if I want to try and stream for like an hour and a half, or an hour even, I probably wouldn't have the time to do it at the regular, was it 3 o'clock Eastern? What time would it be over European? I honestly can't remember. I'm assuming it's like 8 or 9. Was it Central Eastern Standard Time, Daylight Time? I think it's around that time anyway. At least that's when the peak players are. I'm a few hours late, needless to say. And I also completely forgot I have these dang void blending that I could be utilizing too a little bit. Don't know how practical it would be there, considering I need to be within 6,000 unit range, which would make it easy for him to spot me and run me down regardless. Unless I'm directly behind him, that would be the only exception. That would probably be the only real way I can catch him off guard, is to hit him from behind. That way he has to burn high energy turns to chase after my Auroras at least. At least that's the thought anyway. Torpedoes are pretty much useless at that angle though, because you can just boost forward and just dodge them just by the sheer amount of time it would take for the torpedoes to even reach them at that point. But to harass them and to keep my ship safe there, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. I just gotta get used to that kind of playstyle, I guess. Especially when I know he doesn't have any bombers or anything that I have to worry about to have my Kronos pattern defending the rest of my fleet. Well. If I don't get a queue there, I'll probably just start building my rank mode fleet a little bit more. Continue to put the upgrades and maybe any favors in that. Start theory crafting what I want. At least it'll help with the downtime a little bit. At least it'll help with the downtime some. Just switching back and forth between rank mode. Only thing is I'm probably not going to do an actual rank mode match just yet, so this is just strictly theory crafting and figuring out at least what I know I'm going to be putting on the fleet, which would be the the fighter cooldown reduction, the increased shield damage on the pulsars, and all that. And then we'll see what else we have to work with. So skills. I'm kind of really tempted to just not use false maneuver on a lot of these ships, so that's something I'm seriously considering. So I think I'll leave the skill slots open, at least for the Auroras, because I think they could potentially have the mobility and not need it, which would open up more skills, more actual utility rather than survivability. I'll have to experiment and get used to not, well, just using the fleet again in general. Because I am trying to use false maneuver in kind of an aggressive style too. Whereas he turns around, I immediately false maneuver and just hit him with pulsars. And if possible, hit him with torpedoes too. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Remains to be seen if it doesn't bite me in the ass. I need more games for that first. But we got the main upgrades in there. The cooldown reduction, the pulsars. Now, let's get a couple of skills in. Because, was it micro warp jump? As much as I hate having the micro warp jump, because it probably means my ship's going to get killed there in a losing battle, it's probably really damn important for keeping the Foistark alive because of its speed. This thing is my strongest ship, and also my biggest liability with how easily it can die once they run this poor thing down, so micro warp jump's kind of necessary in that regard, I think. And I definitely will take a false maneuver for that, but don't know what to take for the fourth skill slot. I know I've been using Wraithbone Reinforcement to help soak a bit of damage when I'm trying to go in for a torpedo run, especially for the eclipses there. That could be useful. I feel like it can be really damn useful for the eclipses there. It's just 20 second duration for something I probably only need for 5-10 seconds. That's kind of the only odd thing. I really question having it because of that. But nonetheless, false maneuver. Actually, I probably do need false maneuver for torpedo runs, don't I? So I'll keep them B for now, because they're the only way I could turn if I'm boosting forward to get close with the torpedoes. And the last thing I want is to ram with my Wraithbone shift when I'm doing such a thing. So let's try and avoid that. Let's try to avoid that. So, stasis bomb, false maneuver. And we'll leave the Wraithbone Reinforcement as a question mark for now. Hell, I don't even think I need the Dark Star Squadron, considering it probably does not benefit from the crew upgrades, let alone the Fighter Bay bonus, the extra 30% chance to avoid dying. So, I probably will not use them, so that leaves some options here for something else, which I'm not quite sure yet. I really do want to play with more Auger Disruptors, especially since I'm using the Void Blending. We're starting to utilize the Void Blending. I just can't put a final word on that just yet until I actually get practice and start taking advantage of the Void Blending upgrade, though. Without a doubt, so upgrades. I think the extra cooldown the boost is kind of required, since if I'm going to have no survivability, actual durability, let's focus on the mobility to be my survivability then. So, everything will have that. And what are we looking on now? At about 4,000 now. About 4,000 now. And hell, I may not even need the solar energy accumulator for the Kurnos, since they're not really going to get super aggressive, I don't think. Aside for very niche situations, because I'm more than likely just to increase the range on their star cannons so that way they can harass safely and contribute damage-wise, outside just the bombers anyway. And of course, gotta figure out my damn frigates. And if there's one upgrade I'm at least putting on the Hellborn, it's gonna be the damn, what is it, the resonant crystal there. Probably won't throw anything else on any of the frigates, aside from maybe extend sensors, because it probably will be useful to have that on something to at least spot for the Void Stalker and the Kurnos as well. At least open up the possibility for aggressive bomber play. But I shouldn't need a beacon, in all honesty, right? You would think. Nonetheless, I think we burnt enough time there. Half the fleet's, well, half of my upgrades is spent. And now we'll have to figure out what's mandatory, what are upgrades I need, and see what I have left to work with, especially for a handful of favors. At least on the Auroras and maybe the Shadows. Because I'm not going to spend all that damn renown on a Void Stalker and Eclipse if I can help it. Not unless I have enough points elsewhere. Not unless I have enough points elsewhere. We'll see. But there's promise, I just got to make sure I'm good about my control and awareness of everything. Because with the Wraithbone Shift and the Spirit Stones, I'm looking at basically an almost 18.5 second cooldown on my Wraithbone Shift, which is pretty damn good. We're getting close to the point where that could dodge a bombardment can every single time, since that's what, that is the longest reload, right, of any weapon, I think. Maybe the Orc Mega Can is probably 15 seconds as well. But yeah, having the ability to just dodge a bombardment can every single time would be kind of nice, if I'm aware of it enough. That would be the only catch. Because I sure as hell don't want the critical hits to screw me over. Even without the lock-on, it's still basically an 80% chance to critically hit, with a damn good chance to critically hit the component they want to hit too, since they're damn Space Marines. But that paid off a little bit, at least cutting down some of the downtime. But looks like we're fighting a lower point fleet, so 400 points, 450 for him, something like that. We'll see. I know for a fact I'm not feeling the damn Kurnos pattern. Let's try and challenge ourselves a little bit, because that's the whole point of this. Hell, Void Stalker and we're done, right? How's that for challenging oneself? Just have one ship to deal with. One ship to micromanage. No challenge at all, right? And now it begs the question, would the Shadow be useful here? It could start whittling down the shields relatively quickly, and I do need to find a damn use for this thing. Although, quite frankly, I think 2 Auroras are more useful, especially with a Hellborn to back them up. I'm just going to be heavily outgunned. I'm going to be heavily outgunned, which is kind of why I used the Kurnos pattern before in some of my YouTube videos for like a 300-point battle, and I hate it. All it was me just running away all the time and just launching bombers. And if you watch my championship series, does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar? Nonetheless, I want to avoid that playstyle, if at all possible. Let's try and do something a little more enjoyable, a little more intense, and a little more, well, it makes me feel like I earned my victory if I somehow win this. So, what are we looking at here? Nothing yet, he didn't deploy a damn thing, so I'm left wondering. I'm left wondering what he has. But we have the gas cloud for a fallback point. I do have the void blending, just not so much on my Hellborn, so that could potentially open up some sneaky maneuvers for me if I'm good about utilizing it. So, once I'm about to get to the middle of the map, I should probably do that. Salt Run and Void Blend into a good position. And I know for a fact he has over 400 points, so let's see. We got fighters there for Cruiser, so Dictator.
Until the end.
And 2 Dauntlesses, if I had to guess. Dictator and 2 Dauntlesses. Oh yeah. I wasn't seeing their pathway lines on any of the ships, and I figured I forgot to turn off the info gauge. What is it? The advanced info mode, I guess it's called. So, that's without a doubt a Dictator. So, we're gonna get ourselves ready for some harassment, although being spread out like this in a concave is probably not optimal for focus firing, so I need to get this ship down.
Swiftly.
Huh. Interesting. Torpedo was actually gonna hit me there if I wasn't careful.
Yes, Commander.
So,
We obey.
we'll wait till the last possible second, and we'll have this draw some fire.
Yes, Commander.
Hell, let's use the torpedoes to try and get his attention, shall we? Now, do our attack run. That first one hit, second, okay, so that wasn't too terrible. We did get all hits there.
Yes, Commander.
And now we got him turning. He's going to dodge the torpedoes a little bit.
Moving to that location.
Now.
Move at full speed.
Oops, I fired that too soon, damn it.
Until
It's
the
still
end.
probably going to hit, though. Damn good chance of hitting at least.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
Damn good torpedo run, but now this frigate is just getting murdered.
Till the end. Setting sail.
Nope, keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Acknowledged.
Let's finish off this one little cruiser. Yeah, and I did burn my repairs, so
Yes, Commander.
not going to be useful. It's going to die pretty... Oh, actually, I have the repairs going. It still probably could live. Oh, I did that wrong again, damn it.
Void is our home now.
But I somehow dodged certain disaster. Although, probably not as effective as I would have liked. The torpedoes was an amazing failure.
Your death was foretold.
So get on out.
The void is our home now.
Get on out. Threaten them with the torpedoes. And now, Stasis Bomb is now my friend.
Eldar stand ready.
Stasis Bomb is my friend, although this thing's about to die too. There. Now, can I kill this Dauntless quickly? It's got pitiful health. I probably could do it. Just gotta be careful. Torpedoes are coming really aggressively, really fast. And I missed horribly with those
Yes,
pulsars.
Commander, we obey.
Now, does that kill him? Oh, you lucky bugger.
Moving to that location.
You lucky bugger. We can rectify that at least.
The Eldar stand ready.
Oh, my Hellborn's still alive. I forgot. I thought it was doomed to death.
As you wish.
I thought it was doomed to death, so that's why I just forgot about it.
Move at full speed.
So, let's try and collect ourselves a bit.
Until the end.
Get repairs back underway because I lost one of my pulsars, so
Until the end.
try and get a good position here.
Yes,
Actually,
Commander, we obey.
let's just spread out. Let's give him something else to worry about.
To the void with you.
Give him something else to worry about, and also dance with these torpedoes he's about to have to contend with. Pulsar hit.
The void is our home
Get his
now.
attention. That might turn him around there. Give this thing some breathing room.
Eldar stand ready.
Yeah, torpedoes are hit, so that's a fire.
Moving to that location.
This thing's probably not going to live. And now,
Acknowledged.
kill and murder.
Yes.
Nope, he's boosted it out. He saw that coming. That's fine. Let's just keep on hitting him. Avoid those bombers best of my ability.
As you wish.
Really? Really?
At your service.
Is that going to do anything? It almost did something, though.
Void is our home now.
It almost did do something, so that was a bit scarier than it probably needed
Yes,
to be.
Commander. Swiftly.
Now, let's scare him some more. Since he's just trying to disrupt my shields, that doesn't really do much for him. Nope, he did shoot down my torpedoes, though.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
And he is launching bombers, so once I'm out of vision, that's done with.
Acknowledged.
Yep, bombers are a dud.
swiftly
Now, can I do some damage? Not when he's constantly chasing me.
until the end.
I gotta give him something else to worry about before I can do that.
Yes, Commander.
Like this ship right here. Ooh, and shields are down, so Maelstrom it is, I guess.
Returning in
That's a good
30
way to
seconds
force him to
rest.
turn. Force him to take this seriously.
The void is our home now.
A little bit annoying, but at least the multi-prong attack strategy is kind of working out well. The torpedoes were a horrible failure, though, but the Maelstrom easily makes up for that. Maelstrom easily makes up for that, and my Hellborn's in like the worst spot for him to deal with, because he seems like he's not using his bombers to deal with it.
Eldar, stand ready.
Because it's like, it has no void blending, so that's pretty much why I'm a little bit shocked. Although I could still not run.
Move at full speed.
Nope, he's done the smart thing. He's done the smart thing at least. He's preserving his ships, getting that experience in. I applaud him for that at least. And thankfully, we didn't lose a damn thing, considering the overwhelming power he had. Although, the Maelstrom did amazing damage to that cruiser, I'm not gonna lie. I don't recall exactly how potent it was for the Dauntlesses. That I can't remember, but I know he was... My torpedoes were not very impressive, needless to say. They were more for trying to shoot down the Dictator. They're not really reliable when I have to deal with light cruisers and frigates, for obvious reasons. The Pulsars pretty much deal with them, so long as I'm good about making sure they all hit the same target and... Excuse me. They don't miss, quite frankly, because I think I had a few missed shots there too with the Pulsars. Which, of course, is kind of hard to do considering how easily they autocast, but when I'm trying to fire them manually, before I detect the ships, there is the chance for them to miss. At least a little bit. But that was a success. We won that despite the overwhelming odds, although he didn't quite have the best... Well, he didn't utilize his Dictator, I don't think, all that well, did he? I was not watching what the hell his bombers were doing at all. I just know all my ships live, so he could have been sending bombers after me, and they were getting sorely shot down. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know, and we're saving up renown for my second eclipse there. But it's entirely possible we'll get another rematch, so... Let's hope not. I would hate to make his day miserable. I would hate to make his day miserable, and yeah, we did manage to get that win there again. Torpedoes were not very effective, but again, normally, those torpedoes are so much better shooting the big ships, the cruisers and the battleship especially, because we saw how quickly that dang Retribution died. Although it helps when he burns his micro warp jump, his one main ability to dodge those really early. So, Dauntlesses, I need to try not waste them on that, unless I have nothing else to really shoot at, because they are still, what, 45-second cooldown? I forget what they actually are with the Spirit Stones. 40 seconds, so it is a bit of a while. It's more for when I can't... I might as well fire them at Dauntlesses when I can't get close enough for whatever reason. Or, again, he's got so many fighters or other things shielding the cruisers that I can't safely fire at close range. Because hell, even the Dauntless, with my boost maneuver forward, didn't seem to do much. But again, there was a lot going on. I had a lot of micromanagement to do with 3 separate fleets or 3 different attack angles. So I wasn't really paying that much attention, in all honesty, with the torpedoes themselves and how my positioning was. I had a lot of other things on my plate. And I guess we're not going to get a rematch, so like before, I might as well continue working on the ranked mode fleet a little bit if I'm not getting a match quickly, just for the purposes of downtime, because again, this isn't the most optimal timing for my streaming, but thankfully, I have a long weekend coming up. I have Friday off, I have Monday off, so at least then I could do a lot of streaming at the prime time, and I'm hoping with the ranked mode play to get that started on either Sunday or Monday, assuming I'm comfortable enough with my fleet, because with my Void Stalker only at level 4 and everything else just about reaching level 5, I don't really have a good idea what kind of upgrades I want, which is kind of the reason why I want to play persistent mode first. I just gotta get these ships up to level 6, so I at least have a good idea with that. And of course start playing with more favors, because I might as well spoil the secret of what I'm planning on fielding for my favor for these Kurnos pattern. I'm going Samhan. I am going to try and abuse the Augur Disruption jamming, especially now that I'm starting to incorporate the Void blending. The only thing that scares me is, of course, the recon beacons, because of how easily they can stick onto me. I need more experience with that before I'm truly comfortable with the Samhan strategy, because that single-handedly counters this. But if I'm really good about spreading out my fleet, that's actually not too terrible, because then it's only revealing one ship that I can at least keep back a little bit, or even better, have it serve as a bait, or have it behind his fleet if he chases after something else. And then he's not really using that beacon for anything, aside from maybe bombers or boring torpedo seeker missiles. We'll see. Really hard to say. I'm a little bit weary going with Samhan, at least with the Kurnos pattern ships, but they provide essential utility that way, which is what I'm using the Kurnos for. Oh, we got ourselves a rematch here. And he did level up too, so I feel bad for him. I hate to make him feel miserable, because this can be frustrating if you don't know how to deal with Eldar. Especially since the Dictator is probably one of the, I want to say one of the worst ships for at least at doing damage to my ships. Especially against other Eldar who's all about bombers rather than torpedoes. He's going to be damn effective at denying bombers at least, but he's going to have a really hard time damaging me. If I'm good about my control at least. And I would hate to put that on him. So, what would be my strategy though? Should I mix it up in that case? Should I go more frigates? With that said, should I honestly try playing with more frigates and experiment not relying on the falls maneuver? Because again, I like the flexibility of falls maneuver outside of just running away. Because I actually have been using it more for my torpedo runs, for aggressive play. I like it in its flexibility and that potential, because if I boost forward, I really have no other ways to turn. I could turn 90 degrees and while the rainbow shift is still going, I can't actually move a different direction, so it's a great way to deny ramming myself, if nothing else. So, and also, this gives me an opportunity to practice with the Shadow some. What use is it, though? At least it's not a liability if I go this way with the frigates. At least it's not a liability, but he has extra points. Let's do something fun here. I don't want to ruin his day. And if I win, I'm probably going to ruin his day even more, quite frankly. And I'm still committed to trying to figure out this damn Shadow. Because the Kurnos pattern, I already know what I want to do with. I have absolutely no idea where the niche lies for this basic torpedo Shadow. Because it has no pulsar to contribute in burst damage. It only has sustained fire with the star cannons, so it would be amazing on the rear, be really annoying that way, but it doesn't have the mobility of like an Aurora to just get away quickly. That's the only problem with that. I would be more comfortable using a Solaris, quite frankly, to just harass and shoot from behind, especially in close range, where, well, actually it doesn't need to be close range, but with the possibility of armor-penetrating rounds on the star cannons, that would be vicious if I could somehow keep those things firing. And I gotta remember not to have these things too clumped up together. They're gonna rebel on me with the control. Because as soon as I tell them to attack something there with the pulsars, they're gonna just get closer together, and then when I try and turn them around, they're just gonna screw each other up. That's something I need to be mindful of, if nothing else.
The Eldar stand ready.
So if I can keep them spread out, that's better. That's better for me.
We ride the solar winds.
Especially since now he just leveled up. He could actually, he probably has a second cruiser now, so I am just dead if he got a Nova Can out of frustration of that last match. And quite frankly, with 3 ships, he could still... Oh, he has 7 ships, actually.
Swiftly.
So did he outrun, or are they just hiding the gas cloud?
Yes, Commander.
That's what I'm curious about. He may have outrun and I wasn't paying attention. That's one of the downsides of streaming and talking to yourself constantly on end, is you don't pay attention to all the little details, because I'm pretty certain it would have been a really tiny blip where it could have saw the outrun, or the ships before they vanished. And I don't have actual void blending too, so I can't really out-surprise him in that. And not to mention, I really should reconsider my upgrades here, because would Dragon Sails could be useful for the problem I mentioned earlier. It's not as mobile to get out as like a Solaris or Aurora, so maybe his Dragon Sail's not too terrible for what I'm trying to do. We'll see, but he is trying to bait me. He's baiting me so far. So let's just lob some torpedoes at him then. Not at the cruisers, or whatever the hell is in front. We're gonna lob in the gas cloud. At least that way I know for a fact if he has his frigates in there or not. Or at least any ship. I'll be able to actually distinguish what's a cruiser, quite frankly, once I start seeing the point defense. And I have no stasis bomb for a runaway. So, frigates there. We got frigates, more frigates, so there's like 4 of them there, that's all I know. Oh, damn it! It was bound to happen eventually there. It was bound to happen eventually. Wow, he took firestorms. He took firestorms. This is going to be interesting. The ramming potential is going to be brutal. The ramming is going to be brutal if I get hit by him, but star cannons are going to be pretty useful here. Just withering down this firestorms. I just got to make sure these things die quickly, though. And wow, that was dumb luck there on that dodging those torpedoes. Let me just false move. Oh, he's already turning around. I thought he wasn't turning around at first. Oh well, I could still dodge a little bit. I could dodge a little bit there while my other ships get in close. Because you have 1 frigate down. Come on, stop dodging. Stop rebelling. This is my main concern here. Oh, and I gotta dodge the plasma bomb. Because double damage on the frigates is no joke. Hey, he's actually gonna help me too. Can I saw run? Wow, he just dodged torpedoes again there. It makes me wonder if he's deliberately dodging them rather than dumb luck. Because that's twice in a row he just dodged by the skin of his teeth. Just a little bit. But these star cannons, if nothing else, are actually useful in this regard, shooting down frigates. So long as I can keep constantly fire, that's all I need to do. So, torpedoes. That time, he's not as lucky, but I only hit 1 torpedo. Damn it! My controls are rebelling again. There, now I can turn, but my frigates are killing me. My frigates are killing me right now, damn it. They're keeping my shadow from moving. Now, can I at least kill the frigate? Nope, No, I could not kill the frigate. That's going to be my main concern trying to play with the Eldar fleet. Is the dang... I'm losing my train of thought now because so much going on. Yeah, I think that block there just ruined me. Because now I have no sustainability for dealing with these these cruisers. So let me run out. And just warp on out. I took a lot of damage on that cruiser, probably because of that maneuver, because I lost my damn hollow fields as well. That was irritating. It goes with what I'm seeing there. A little bit. Of course, using false maneuver is dangerous in that regard too, because it means I'm flying back towards my fleet rather than just turning. That's probably another thing I haven't considered, which is why I need to spread out. That was bad, that was abysmal. I started killing his dang frigates slowly, although ramming his ships was not what I wanted for the Hellborn. Once the frigates were gone, I would have been in good shape. But hell, he had like, what, 100, 130 points? He had a substantial advantage over me. That's where the mobility would come in so nicely. And of course, just running away with the Kurnos pattern if I just want to bomb them all day. Because I could have honestly done that too, and it would not have been enjoyable. I want the Kurnos pattern to be useful as a support ship to help deal with boring torpedoes, seeker missiles, bombers, and then damage after that. And then once I get the Sam Han favor, that'll be useful. Hell, do I want to do that now and start experimenting with it? Well, I don't have any auger disruptors to complement this. Because the idea is here, what is it? 3-minute cooldown on this and 2-minute cooldown on the auger disruptor. So basically 4 or 5 of these with the the Spirit Stone upgrade basically allows me to chain these almost indefinitely, at least on a single ship. If I'm lucky enough to get all his fleet there, then that would be golden. He would never be able to see me. He would have to rely on skill shot type abilities like, well, I don't know if you would call it Nova Cannon skill shot. I was thinking more torpedoes when I said that. Nonetheless, let's try again. I'll save my renown for the second eclipse first. Then I'll start upgrading the Kurnos pattern. And hopefully then I'll have the upgrades I need. Because at least then I can sort of void blending on the eclipses there next. And I don't know what I want for the Void Stalker just yet. I probably want the Solar Energy Accumulator for that as well. Before I go with the Void Stalking or Void Stalk. Void Blending. It might as well be Void Stalking because I'm trying to stalk my opponent there without him realizing where I'm at. Also, if I run into him again, maybe I just go with the Auroras. Also, especially with him going 400 point battles now, I could try going 3 Auroras and just focus on the Void Blending, hit and run style, and try and get experience with that. Because I could do it, and I'll have 3 Auroras to be able to do it. And it'll, considering the fact I'm going to be heavily outnumbered, especially if he goes to Swarm strategy again, it will be amazing for that. I just gotta make sure the attack I do really counts, because then his frigates are going to be chasing after me relentlessly. But at least then I have the accumulator and the range to keep myself safe, especially with the Void Blending. I could juke him if I have enough time to just reposition myself safely. And hell, I probably should have gone after the light cruisers too, but I didn't really have any Auroras or actual burst damage. Again, the Shadow is more sustained fire, which makes it actually really good for shooting down the frigates, especially if they're low health. Because the extra accuracy for being Eldar actually helps negate a lot of that frigate penalty to my accuracy there. Especially a 6,000 unit range there, that would actually be pretty decent hitting. So it would just be a matter of getting through shields, doing a small amount of damage to something that's already heavily damaged, and then a frigate's gone without having to commit to using more pulsars on it, or even a bomber wave for that matter. Still need to figure out what the hell to do with this thing. Because I'm not really using the star cannons all that aggressively anyway, so that's probably part of my problem. I need to get more value out of the star cannons there, because their damage potential is a little bit ridiculous. And so long as they can keep on firing, that's the only trick. And I do actually have a few upgrades that will help with that some, but I don't think I want to lock on very often, especially if I'm going to be using Void Blending as my main order now, because there's like only a 15-second downtime pretty much once the assault running goes off. So I'm pretty damn close to be able to do that indefinitely with the assault run. Pretty damn close. He's only going to have 10-15 seconds to know where I am, and if I'm not already in a gas cloud to hide myself, then he's in for a lot of trouble hunting me. And that will be part of the playstyle there. It's not going to be something like what Solare did to me just running away with his custodian. And I'm attacker for Space Station Assault this time, which is kind of nice. I don't want the space station to blow up on me again. Although, now that I had some experience being defender, I probably would like to try to experiment being more aggressive. Probably would not work very well if he's just going to kamikaze with a bunch of frigates, though. Probably would not work well for me. But we're now at 700 points, which is weird. Unless he took a different fleet, I wonder? No, it's the same fleet name, so I wonder what's different now. Because I just did 500 points with him just a moment ago, didn't I? I'm honestly not sure. So I know this station has bombers, so we'll have the Void Stalker. I'll bring in 2 of the Auroras, and what can I bring in for my next? Do I throw in more Hellborns? I want to experiment and get more comfortable with them. Actually, let's throw in the Eclipse. A lot of power there, especially with the Auroras, if they can hit all the same target there. Then it's just a question of hitting with torpedoes, which, quite frankly, I can almost dump fire onto the station a little bit, and there's a damn good chance I'm going to hit, even with only 12 torpedoes. Because, after all, torpedoes have 50% chance to just ignore point defense hits on them. The Void Stalker is going to be a little bit different, though. It's just going to harass at range and try to beat a tempting target once he knows what it is. Be a nice tempting target and then punish him when I can hit him hard with the bombers and torpedoes. So, now I gotta be mindful though of the mines. Be mindful of the mines, and let's see. If I were laying mines, where would I put them? Probably around the gas cloud, maybe? Although spraying them out is not a terrible idea, because if I boost into them, there's a chance I'll fly into one. Just from randomly boosting, just to keep myself alive. So, the Auroras are going to stay together there. They got their void blending to be really uncomfortable for them. And I got to figure out how to do damage to them. Figure out how to chip him down and start getting free damage, quite frankly. Especially when he has that massive sensor range on the station. That's going to be something I'm not used to. Especially if I'm going to start utilizing the void blending. Although Augur Disruptor and Same Hands favor upgrades is an easy way to negate that for at least a little while. So there's value in that at least, especially if in ranked mode all my opponents decide to go Space Station Assault. I can metagame the hell out of that. So
until the end.
Looks like he's gone Swarm again, which suits me fine actually. I just got to start chipping him down and be mindful he can spawn more frigates, even if they are only Cobras. Actually, let me lob some torpedoes. Oops, I forgot to turn it off, didn't I? There, let's fix that. Let's fix that. And now let's get moving. Get these ships moving. And we can easily dodge that. That's not a concern at all. And now I just gotta figure out how the hell to get good value out of these things. Well, actually, he's making it easy for me. He's coming to me.
Until the end.
With him coming to me, that helps a lot. Do I get any torpedo hits, though? I wasn't really aiming at him. Ooh, but look at those torpedo hits on that Dauntless or whatever ship it was. Ooh, those were some nice hits. Now, let me get my stasis bomb ready. I accidentally used my Rape Bone reinforcement, which was dumb.
The Eldar stand ready.
So far so good, and he even revealed himself for me.
At your service.
Up, and I'm hitting the side of the screen again. I gotta get rid of that second screen, because I currently have my television all hooked up to the PC, which I think is what's causing that when I go to the side of the screen.
We ride the solar winds.
So, we could try and hit the beacon there. That's not going to be an issue. Get ready for another assault run maneuver. And with him hitting, I have no idea where he's at, actually. But I can actually fix that to some extent. I can fix that to some extent, because his point defense will reveal his ship for me.
Swiftly.
If only a little bit. Because he's sure as hell not boosting, I know that much. Oh, that was nice of him.
Until the
And
end.
let's see, no breeze. What is it? No supercharged void shield, so that's good.
Moving to that location.
So we're gonna get more torpedo hits there, at least one,
The Eldar stand
and
ready.
try and get aggressive and hit this thing. I am about to get detected though, so let's not get too careless. Try not to get too careless, because yeah, I'm now so close to the getter that these things are not going to dodge very well. Oh, and I didn't actually take out the Oh, I did take out the Overlord shields. Never mind.
To the void
Okay,
with you.
I'm losing my train of thought there because there's a lot to consider, and I could screw up in an instant if I'm not careful. So, pulsar away.
Commander.
Get on out. We nearly killed that damn thing, which makes me wish I kept the star cans going. The star cans shooting on that thing.
Acknowledged.
Just a little bit longer. Now,
Stealth
assault
is the
run.
key to success.
Take advantage of that and try and kill this thing. I have the potential star can range. No, I don't actually.
The
I'm just
void
slightly
is
out
our
of range.
home now.
So, let's get on in there. Try and do some damage. And actually, I'm doing this wrong, aren't I? Yeah, I should be focusing on what's in front of me.
Moving to that location.
Just a little bit, because now I got bombers.
The Eldar stand ready.
Oop. Yeah, let's get on moving.
Sail.
Now, this is gonna hurt. Torpedoes probably not the best, though. Torpedoes probably not the best hits. So now we assault run, we get on out, and we admire the work of our damage.
Acknowledged.
Oh, I'm still getting detected, so
We obey.
that I didn't realize, especially with my dang assault run.
Until the
There,
end.
now I'm hitting. Little late now, though.
As you wish.
Ha, cute. Can I still hit him, though?
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
Because remember, fella, I could still shoot you. I am completely I'm completely blind fire strategy here. Although, that's a shame. Oh, torpedoes might still hit, actually.
Cruising speed.
So that's good.
Swiftly.
We got rid of what looks like the big threat.
At your
Now,
service.
let's kill this Dauntless with the Aurora, shall we? While these two deal
The Eldar stand
with the
ready.
frigates.
The void
Yeah,
is
it's with
our
assault
home
running
now.
there too. Oh,
Move at full speed.
so torpedoes going in, do your thing.
Setting sail.
Your supercharged void shield will do crap there, sorry. As I try frantically to get these things moving properly.
Swiftly. Until the end.
So, no, not this time, buddy.
We ride the solar
I'm
wind.
on to your games.
Infinity circuits
Now.
active.
Let's kill this thing.
As you wish.
Oh, I forgot, damn it. The assist focusing was on. I completely ruined that attack run.
Told.
We failed because of that damn little thing.
Moving to that
I
location.
forgot to turn it off. Which is a perfect example why I don't like that ability, or having that on by default. Because it ruins pulsar runs,
Setting sail.
pulsar attacks. But so far so good. We forced him to retreat. His Dauntless was not heavily damaged, so it was all good there.
Ready.
And I honestly was not paying attention to the level of his ships.
Until the end.
Honestly was not paying attention, so I don't know if it was like a different fleet or not. But we got rid of the big meat, at least most of the meat.
Eldar stand ready.
So I think we're golden here. We just gotta clean up this mess faster than he can replenish Cobras, is all we need to do now.
We ride the solar winds.
And then, we go in for the kill.
We have found the enemy.
We go in for the kill. Actually, I could almost just sit here. Oh, never mind, I take that back. He's caught on to my strategy, my plan to kill his ships.
Yes, Commander. We obey.
So, let's try this again. Pulsar's hit, because he is going to be able to run me down. Just a little bit. I just gotta make sure these bombers are hitting the right frigate, though. Actually, I could just stasis bomb.
Moving to that location.
Fix this in an instant.
We
There, bombers got that. Pulsars and Maelstrom will kill the other one. We are golden. Although we still have more Cobras and swords to deal with. He's making this victory a little hard to do with his constant respawning of ships. And my own ship's ruining, damn it, ruining my pulsar attack. So there, let's correct this. Start shooting properly, please. Thank you. Kill the Cobra that is for some reason locking on. I question that decision. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Oh, and I'm flying into a Maelstrom. Let's not have that either. God, these ships need a lot of babysitting. Whatever. Why can't I just keep them all in a nice group there like my Imperial Navy and just fly to victory that way, huh? This sounds so much easier. And those torpedoes hit, but too close, damn it. They were too close. Too close. I would have loved those torpedoes to finish off that thing. So, will the boarding kill it? Boarding got it. Okay, so we're golden. Now let's go on to the main threat. The main prize. And sadly, I don't have any Samhan favor to abuse here. But we got bombers. I'll save the bombers actually for the station itself. Actually, I'm not quite in range anyway.
Yes, Commander.
Not quite in range anyway. Now let's just go on in and kill this thing. Actually, I should be using my Auroras to fire torpedoes at the main station there. Yep, I didn't notice those fighters, so let's dodge that. Station 1 down. That paid off. Got torpedoes off. I'm gonna have bombers in a moment. Oh, I already launched bombers, never mind. So, we have what, 2-3 minutes to kill these Cobras? Before he can respawn anymore, so we're good here on this front. Oh, and I gotta remember that damn fission. Salt run's no longer an option here if I want to try and attack that. Salt run's no longer an option. I have to try and kill it the old-fashioned way.
As you wish.
Oh well, torpedoes thankfully aren't going to hit that much, but Auroras, stop it. Maybe I should stop having you buddy up there some. It's not helping very much. Actually, let me just kill this damn thing. I probably should just go straight and kill the dang station. Because I kind of can do that. Just gonna make sure the Void Stalker is able to do that. Oops, that was the wrong button, damn it. Apparently, killing this station is a little bit harder than I would have thought, but bombers will easily fix that, especially fully trained bombers.
Yes, Commander, we obey.
And now I just gotta make sure I kill this thing before they get too crippled, because he is killing the engines now. But Maelstrom will help with that. This is the one thing where Maelstrom's gonna be amazing. He still has a shield transfer though, if he knows how to use that. And this thing's just gonna have to get on out.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
Just get this thing on out. Note, I have no torpedoes available, so just go on in for the kill.
Moving to that location.
And actually, stop turning. I am starting to mess this up quite heavily, it feels like. So, that should be dead by the fires alone, but let's get the Void Stalker to seal the deal, shall we? All his Cobras will mean nothing now. Ooh, even the we even killed the shield, perfect. So, never mind, take it back. The Maelstrom just died immediately, or ended, just as I took the shields down. So, killing the space station took a lot longer than I would have liked. I feel like, anyway. Probably because I chose to go after frigates rather than the station itself. At least with my entire fleet. The Void Stalker alone probably could have just sent bombers at the station, eventually killed the Cobras with pulsars and star cannons. And then everything else just focused on the station, attacking at a different angle. Yeah, I just need to know when I can actually attack the station and not feel like I'm being punished for it. If nothing else. But that was a good win. Nothing died. Nothing died at all there, so we're looking good. It was all cruisers pretty much though, and a Void Stalker, so it wasn't really using a bunch of frigates to overwhelm me there, so that's probably why everything went so well. Nonetheless, more experience. We're almost at our 800 for the second eclipse, so I'm going to try one more before I call it a day here. Call it a wrap. And with how late it is, I'm probably not going to get to upload this Twitch video until sometime tomorrow. Oh well, at least the Twitch streaming allows, if nothing else, for me to get a good handful of matches in. Again, this is not the most optimal time, but at least we're getting matches in. That's the main thing. And I look forward to getting a whole lot more in for the weekend. Ideally. It just remains to be seen. Is my last match going to be the same opponent or not? I don't know. But nonetheless, second eclipse is one match away from level 5. I'm excited for that. Which means I'm going to be upgrading what? The Warlock, was it? Yeah, upgrading the Warlock for the Pulsars. I wonder how much I even care about upgrading the Warlock ultimately. Well, it does have star cans to help with a little bit. And Pulsars can actually do a decent amount of critical hits with the 75% chance, so even without lock-on, they're pretty decent. Pretty decent chance of getting critical hits, so I take that back. With 3 of them hitting 3 times at 8% chance, I will happily take a really damn good chance of getting critical hit in one salvo. I will definitely take that. Now, will I ever want to lock on? Probably not. Especially again with the void blendings being so prevalent. I just gotta get used to when I have to fight Widowmakers, Emperors, or anything like that that could easily counter that play. Never mind the beacons. Although, unless I'm fighting Chaos, I may only have to deal with 1 or 2 of them possibly. Because I don't think many players will want to put their cruisers and light cruisers with recon beacons if they feel like they need the survivability for them. Because I think most players rather just go so top heavy if they can afford it. In the case of Eldar, obviously they would love to go to Double Eclipse and Void Stalker, I think. If they can afford it. Although cruisers are actually pretty good too for the bomber potential if they're going that route and ignoring aggressive attacks with the Pulsars altogether. Me, I'm not going that way. I'm basically doing the blind fighting strategy. Well, I don't even know what you would call it. By blind fighting, I mean I don't even need to detect his ships. I just need to know where he's at, so I can at least fire my torpedoes and pulsars in that vague direction. Hopefully hit something. Kind of like how I just blindly hit a bunch of torpedoes on his damn Overlord at the very beginning of that round. I was not expecting. But they're damn good when you can use them properly. Because let me remind you folks, they ignore armor completely. So brace for impact does nothing, and they also have a 50% chance to ignore destruction, so arguably that's like a 5% chance to kill these torpedoes as opposed to 10% for everything else, so they're damn resilient. It's just a shame my cruisers don't have access to 6 torpedoes like everyone else does. That would be kind of nice and probably a little ridiculous. Especially since they are also a tighter arc, I believe. A much tighter arc, which is why I was so surprised that dang frigate's been dodging those torpedoes twice so completely with such a narrow gap. Don't know if it was luck or not. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But it looks like our match is going to be a little bit delayed, so I'm just going to work on the rank mode a little bit more. Try and discuss a little bit and figure out what I want to do ultimately, because I'm not going to have the luxury of a lot of favors like I would for persistent mode. Not in the slightest. I'm going to have to rely more on the upgrades and of course trimming out certain upgrades too to the essentials, which is going to be the hard part figuring out, because if I'm going to go to void blending route, they pretty much need it. At least the majority of my ships do. I could probably afford not having all my ships. I just gotta remember which ones don't. Like my Void Stalker, I don't think I'm going to use that for void blending. Excuse me. I don't think I'm going to use that upgrade because it gives away its position so much when I launch the fighters, unless I want to not have fighters altogether, which kind of defeats at least the purpose anyway of the Kurnos pattern. Void Stalker I would probably be a lot more aggressive with, but without a doubt, if I'm going to go a solid run strategy with these carrier ships, I don't want to reveal where they're at, just when he can look around. So I can trim the fat a little bit there, and since I can have the ship separate from everything else, I can use as a really damn good bait. At least I can use a damn good bait there. Especially with the Kurnos pattern, because I want them to kind of be in the center of the fighting, or at least in the set area of the fighting, so that way my fighters have the best chance of supporting all the other ships and shoot down any bombers and torpedoes that might be coming their way. Ideally, and I think my voice is starting to break now. So I'm going to have to end this pretty soon there, I guess, and let my throat rest up, because I'm not really used to talking for an hour and a half on end. But that's the strategy so far. I didn't really add anything extra, did I? But I was thinking about the Auger Disruptor, and the Kurnos pattern is the candidate for it. I'm just not completely sold just yet on it. I'm not sold just yet, because I don't even know if I'm going to have the renown to field 3 Sam Hand favors, quite frankly. But the upgrades look pretty good. What are the other essentials? Aside from maybe belt armor. Belt armor seems safe. I got solar accumulators. I could extend range on this, but I don't know what else I will want on here just yet, so I think that rounds out the majority of the upgrades at least. Maybe throw extended sensors on a Hellborn. I don't think that would hurt there, quite frankly. And I don't know if there's anything else I want to throw on here just yet. Oh, okay, I was going to say maybe I forgot the efficient pilots, but I have them. I definitely have them. Now I just gotta craft whatever the hell I'm gonna put on these ships for the remaining 3,000 points I have, because I'm sure as hell not gonna put favors on the Eclipses if I can help it, let alone the Void Stalker. Although I kinda do have the renown for that now, don't I? If I want to just spend it all on 3 ships that I'm gonna rely so much on. That could also be my biggest liability due to their slower speed. Alright, let's see if that's stalled enough time for our opponent. As my voice continues to break more, help me! Okay, I think that's better. My voice hasn't broke yet. This will be amusing. This final match, I'm going to be not only contending with my opponent, I'm going to be contending with my own throat, as it continues to break again. Oh god. This is going to be embarrassing, isn't it? I just wish I had some water right now, because I don't even know if anyone's listening to the Twitch stream. And if there isn't, then I could easily cut this out and no one will be the wiser of my predicament right now. Especially if we're not going to get an opponent, goddammit. Well. I'll give it a few more minutes there at least. I'll give it a few more minutes and at least this will line up nicely with my breaking throat. If nothing else. This is kind of the worst thing about trying to stream in the off hours and inconvenient times, though, without a doubt. And I'm hoping to rectify that when the long weekend comes up. Because if I'm going to do any streaming normally at Battlefleet Gothic, it might as well be on the weekend. I just need some time to actually relax, goddammit. Because with family over, nephews over, I didn't really have any time, especially since I committed to try and do a championship match every day, so I was pretty worn out. I need that weekend off. I really did. And sadly, this is the consequence, I guess. Do I regret it? No, but I'm wishing, for the sake of the streaming, to have had more matches, or at least faster queues, ideally. Well, I'll give it a few more minutes. And if nothing, then I'll just stop here. It is a good experience there, but I could definitely tell fatigue from the work week is starting to wear me down. Which is kind of apparent because Monday seemed like it was going so well there. I stomped the carrier chaos fleet there that could easily erase my ships if I get too aggressive. I did so well against the first match, which I was rusty. against the battle barge's Space Marine fleet. It was my own decision to warp out the Aurora that probably cost me there. I did so well on Monday stream it looked like, so I'm not looking forward to the Friday match. Wait if I can get a Friday stream in, where I'm probably going to be even more fatigued. It's just going to be going downhill. I'm not actually going to learn anything, it's going to seem like, because my performance is just going to keep getting worse and worse until I actually have a good night's sleep. Oh well. I guess we'll leave it to that then. We got no matches. I thank you to everyone who tuned in, who is watching, who put up with this random nonsense for 2 hours. Especially talking to myself, because you know I'm crazy if that happened, right? Thank you all for watching, and I'm hoping to do this again on Friday. Whether I get it? Well, I have a day off on Friday, so I know for a fact I can get it at the peak hours, so Friday's stream at least should be a little more eventful. So thank you all again.